Brother Dustin.
What's up, buddy?
Dustin, how's the buck?
How's the buck? Well, it stops here.
Uh, do they buck around and find out?
Well, I haven't been bucking around lately, so no, not too many people been finding out.
Uh, we took those crazy streams we had the other days.
What, the streams?
Yeah, they're all crazy.
Just a lot of shit going on, man. People are really mad, and they don't want to admit that they're mad. Right? Like they like it's one of those things where you have to question your scope of reality. Right? Like Stump, for example, he's questioning his scope of reality. I mean, Lupin, he has to question his state of reality. Everybody has an existential crisis at one point in their life. I'd imagine that Stephen at one point in his life questioned his faith, kind of like Job did, right? I mean, anybody who's going to argue that is either a liar or, well, a liar.
Oh no! But,
like Ayden, you think Ayden hasn't spent time wrestling with this issue? You think he hasn't thought, well, maybe there is a God, maybe there isn't a God? You don't think that there was ever a time in his life that he thought, well, maybe I'm in some trouble?
yeah, it could be.
Right.
Do you think? What proof will you give to him to believe in God? To show them to believe in God?
What proof would I need to show that I believe in God?
No
I
proof.
don't have I don't have the conventional proof that, like, because like most people say it's an experience, right? Some people say they're inspired by the word of God. I can't claim either one of those things. The reason I know God exists is because I was exposed to a witchcraft at a very young age, and the one thing that they don't like is Christianity. So that for me is a little bit of a confirmation bias, and there's not a lot of science behind that. So I don't try and bring that up as a defense. It doesn't work because, number one, scientists don't like to admit that they invoke magic in their science, and number two, they well, there's a whole mountain of psychological issues that can be considered when you believe in imaginary friends. So there's a stigma around the belief in God, even though science, if everybody's being honest about it, was begun by Christian scientists and their ability to record and their methodological stances towards life, right? Because the main thing that you needed to learn to read for was reading scripture.
Yeah, I think Dustin said something like that before.
Who?
Dustin?
Me?
No,
Yeah, me. I said,
Christianity, right? Science came from Christianity, I think.
well, if you think about it, most of your scientists before there was secularism were all Christian.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: how many atheist hospitals do you see around the world? I can't count the number of Christian hospitals, but I haven't seen one atheist.
Yeah.
I see lots of atheist abortion clinics. I see that, but I don't see too many hospitals. Matter of fact, I can't think of one.
You ever heard of John Hopkins?
Yeah, he was lymphoma or whatever.
Yeah, is he related to St. John Hospital?
I don't know. I don't know enough to make St. Jude.
I heard St. John's too. Is that John the Baptist or the other John? Were there two Johns in the New Testament? Yeah.
Yeah, there was two Johns.
John
I'd
the
imagine there's more than that, but
I mean,
you
in the
know,
New
not too
Testament.
many. Yeah, not too many people actually got their name recorded in the Bible. You know,
Yeah, no, I mean like
Jesus.
as part like Jesus disciples type guys.
Yeah, no, Jesus healed a great many of people. Right, he had a lot of interaction that probably didn't really get recorded.
Yeah. Did you say that her might have been books outside the Bible that record what Jesus did?
Yeah, there's lots of books outside of the Bible. Let me ask you this: what possessed a woman to come in and spill anointed oil on the feet of Jesus and wash it up with her hair? What would possess that woman to do that? There's no like outside story that really explains that, right? But this woman knew who Jesus was and anointed his feet. Right? That's got to tell you that there are people that knew who Jesus was who abstained from being in the Bible. It's got to tell you that. So that's got to tell you there's more to the story than what's in the Bible. Not that the Bible's incomplete, just that the Bible doesn't address everything.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you think? Oh, you ever? Oh, yeah, that John the Baptist guy. Ken always says, he wasn't John the Methodist or John the Lutheran, but John the Baptist.
Yeah, Kent's a little different.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy. Oh, okay. Actually, what sort of Christianity are you? Are you any certain Christianity or just Christian?
I believe denominations belong with money, right? And Christianity should be Christianity.
Oh. Back in the day, I thought I don't know. I must have heard you wrong. I thought you said something like you used to be a Mormon or a Mormon.
No, well, I mean, I've been to a few Mormon churches. I don't know that if that makes me Mormon, but I lived in Utah for a while, so yeah, I guess you suppose the longer you stay there, the more the odds are you're going to walk into one.
Oh, are they from Planet Marmia?
What?
I'm just joking. Yeah. Uh. What if this happened? Mormonism combined with Islam. Mormon Mormon Muslim.
I mean, in all honesty, they're not that far apart. They both believe in a prophet that lied about where they got their origin story from, so it wouldn't be a stretch in my mind.
They come together and they see you as their new prophet.
I don't know why I would be considered a prophet.
Oh, he'd be
I
the
don't
dust.
know.
Oh, do you got mole on your back?
Do I have a mole on my back? No, I don't have any moles on my. Not that I'm aware of. I haven't
Um,
looked lately, but
then none of mine. Then sorry about that. Because that's how you know.
what does that got to do with anything? A
Because
mole?
that's how you know if you're a prophet.
Interesting.
That's a
I've
joke.
never heard of that.
That what I heard from Islam. Muhammad had a mole on his back.
Mohammed had a mole on his back. I bet I know what happened.
Holy moly!
Holy moly, guacamole!
Oh, yeah, those shows we did are got crazy and stuff. So crazy.
Dude, there was a lot of screaming, yelling. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, look, here's the thing: is like, I understand where Lupin's coming from. I get it. He's putting up a front and he's trying to make a declaration for God. It makes sense to a degree. The problem is that he doesn't have enough brain power to see the other side of the argument,
Yeah.
right? He doesn't acknowledge it. He runs over it like a steamroller, right? Oh, it doesn't matter what your argument is because you're wrong. Well, that doesn't prove them wrong, and just because you're right doesn't mean that you can prove it to them, right? You have to concede on their side of the argument and allow for some portion of the two arguments to touch in order for there to be a contrast. And if he doesn't acknowledge it, then there's no point in conceding one way or the other.
Oh, Cassim, Do you have a laptop or
Who,
computer?
me?
Yeah.
I do. Why?
Just because I got one, a brand new one, not too long ago, a couple days ago.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad to
That's
hear
how,
that.
that's how I can. Thank you. That's how I can stream now. Not stream. Share stuff.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Dustin, is it true if you were raptured, you become the most craziest Joker type guy ever?
Yeah, if I'm left behind, I'm not gonna try and stick by the rules anymore.
Oh.
Right? Like I'm barely holding on by a thread as it is. I don't see the fruit that they keep claiming comes with following this narrow pathway, right? Like I mean I love Jesus, I love God. I don't think I'm gonna make it that way. I've never been built that way. Jesus hasn't come into my life and made that that physical change that somehow makes me different, right? So like I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe that Jesus changes you, but that it's I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't believe everything I hear in third person, right? And I don't know of anywhere in the Bible that it says Jesus will transform you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm questioning that. I'm wondering, like, it doesn't necessarily mean free grace is real, but I do believe that there's a certain level of like acceptance on both ends. So I don't know, man. Like, is it really a salvation issue? Yeah, I don't
Man,
know.
I don't know. But to ask him, would you like to have a discussion or debate them over uh, evolution?
Yeah, well, we're supposed to have a discussion with Big Bad Mama over those deep plumes that still haven't caught heat yet.
Oh. Uh, what do you do if they did disprove evolution and proved it wrong?
Well, look, that's the thing, though, is like I'm not really necessarily sold on the idea that proving or disproving evolution is going to be the thing that sells people on God or not, right? I mean, I'm not even entirely convinced that God would have done it a different way, right? But I don't see any evidence. That's the thing. Like, show me the transition fossils, right? And even then, you still have to prove that. Well, okay, so if you showed me the transition fossils and then you made a prediction based on those transition fossils and showed me that humankind was becoming or somehow in some way splitting into two different subspecies, then I would agree, right? And it's got to go beyond like transsexual and uh, furries or some weird crazy thing that or even autism, for example. Like, these are not evolutionary traits.
You mean trans species?
No, not trans species. I want to see a transition, right? Which means that there's a split. That means that one species has one that's born this way, and then one that's born that way, and then the species starts progressing from there, right? That's
What if they say that Brett Keane is the link between humans and manatees?
They might have something there.
She's joking.
They might have something there. I don't know. They might have something there. That might be the straw that broke my camel's back. I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny. He said that. He said it before in one of his videos that to Ace. He said, "You said I'm manatees, but going by evolution, we're all connected to land and manatees. So I'm the king of manatees."
Well, he's definitely not a walrus, so that's I can live with that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Last night, Skylar was on. Him
I
and
know.
yeah.
I came and talked to him a little bit. I like Skylar. I like Skylar a lot.
Yeah. He made up with Ayden.
Well, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Those guys have known each other for a long time. Ayden knows exactly how far to push something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. They made up and stuff. But yeah, it happened. What happened was a couple months ago. I think it was on Mrs. Mott's channel when that happened. They got mad at each other, I guess.
I couldn't care less. It's got nothing to do with me, buddy.
Oh.
Like, I really don't care.
Oh.
The thing that got me was that Skylar was being bullied. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's what was happening, right? Like, it didn't make sense to me why. Well, for one thing, why Lupin decided to make an all-out attack and make some anti-Semitic statements, and like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. Why? I met all these people through the same person, the same freaking person, right? We were all friends at one point. Now, for XYZ reason, I still don't even understand. I really don't. I don't understand what actually happened between Christian and Stump. I kind of get why Ayden and Steven have issues. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, and Steven's got a long line of people that have got issues with him. He's got to come to terms with that. Like, people don't have issues with people for no reason, especially when you have a consistent long line like that.
Okay. Miss Outcast said she would join after if she can fix her headache she'd been having.
Well, I hope she does. I have a theory about that.
Do you think it might have to do with the overlords?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the overlords.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she talked about one day about doing a Egyptian talk.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I kind of want to go see that.
Yeah. Would you like to learn about the Egyptians? How to walk like an Egyptian?
Well, I mean, there's not a lot to learn about the Egyptians. They say that there's 30% that has been discovered, but I mean, the reality is that there's living families that know about what actually happened back then. It's considered a trade secret because they're expecting to be able to go back into business and start building temples again whenever society resets.
Oh. What do you do if you find out Egyptians who was the Transformers that built their things?
Well, I'll put it this way. You don't stack a bunch of rocks for no reason.
Yeah.
Okay, if you put a building out there, there's got to be a purpose for it. Okay, right? I mean, if you're telling me that, look, there's this thing called family tradition, right? And when you have something like stone cutting and masonry, you don't let that just die, right? Like, you continue to pass it down. So, like, there are families that know how to do these things.
Oh.
So I don't know. It's just like, what the reason that they only allow so much to be exposed is because the valuable stuff is, well, it's valuable, you know?
Yeah. What do you do if you went to a tomb and mummies jump out and try to get you?
I would grab. I'd probably have a shotgun and try and shoot for the head and hope that shooting them like in the head is like shooting a zombie in the head and it'll kill them. It'd be about the only thing I could do, buddy. If there was an actual curse like that affected us in this realm, I don't know. Although it is true that there still might be a mummy somewhere, right? Some tomb somewhere where it hasn't been opened yet.
Well, it turns out Claude is a mummy.
Well, then I guess they'd need extra wrap for those gigantic, ginormous balls.
Funny. What you been doing all day?
Oh, flagging.
What's that?
Traffic control.
Oh, well, that's good. But are you glad Father Charles is back?
Yeah, I got Father Charles' back. Why?
I mean, I'm glad he's back.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad he's back.
Yeah. Miss Mott had a show earlier. He was on there.
I'm glad to hear that. We all should be friends, dude. I don't understand all this animosity. I really don't get it, man. I love all you guys. Like, I don't necessarily like Claude, and I don't like Lupin. I don't like Lupin, but I basically love all you guys.
What about, do you love Big Bad Mama?
Yeah, Big Bad Mama and I, we communicate just fine.
Oh, that's good. What about Steven's cousin?
Who? Which one?
You
mean Yassam?
Yeah.
Yassam, she's like, well, I don't want to say this publicly, so never mind.
Look at what Billy, truck driver Billy said.
What did truck driver Billy say?
Don't worry, nobody likes Lupin. That's what he said.
Well, that's the sad thing. Like, I don't want to be that guy. Come on. Like, I was really trying to make a joke out of it so that people would stop picking on him, right? So that it would become just like an inside joke. You know, like, I was really trying to divert things away from, because I do, on a level, I feel bad because he keeps getting exposed as not knowing what the hell he's talking about. And oh man, I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. I know what happens when I'm that guy around here. It's not pretty.
No, Lupin has his own Netflix show. It's called Lupin.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah. Even an own cartoon show called Lupin. Lupin Tupin takes a poopin'.
Lupin Dupin takes a poopin'. I understand. Yeah.
He's a crazy guy. But Stomp, he reminded me a bit of Colonel Sanders in the face. He kind of looks like him. What if he is him?
Stomp has a lot of love for you, buddy. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I know. He's a good guy. Just like
I mean, he's not very good at showing it like me, but he does. Yeah, he's got a lot of love for you, man. He wants to see good things for you.
Oh,
I think everybody really does, but I think that nobody can agree on what good things means.
Yeah. Lupin's a nice
What's
guy.
that?
Lupin's a nice guy too.
What?
Oh,
what did you just say?
Lupin's also a nice guy too.
I mean, yeah, he's nice. Kind of like Lenny, but yeah, he's nice.
Do you think? Have you been on Steven's show lately?
Yeah, I've been on Steven's show.
I mean,
not in the last couple of days. I try to avoid Stump shows because, like, if I go to ask a question, then it becomes a fight. Like, I don't want to fight with anybody. I really don't. Right? And I'm not a general. I'm not really a soldier. I'm just a guy who like who reads and understands what he reads. Like I don't know.
I think you're a pretty smart guy.
Well, I appreciate that. I like to think that I'm pretty smart.
Yeah, you know a lot of stuff. Yeah, like Ayden. What if it turns out? What if we fall to another dimension where you and Ayden are brothers?
I mean, I don't know if I ever would have made it with a brother. You just don't know who I was growing up, buddy. Like the only reason my sister survived is because my dad threatened to kill me if anything ever happened.
Oh. And your dad is
Okay, right? Like,
Big Bad Mama, and
huh?
your mom is Miss Ahmad.
I probably wouldn't be me.
Well, who will you be?
I don't know, but like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can imagine the kind of child that Big Bad Mama would raise.
Yeah. Uh,
Or
yeah.
Deviant Outcast for that matter, or whoever. I don't, or big or Missing Mod. Like Missing Meds, I don't know, man. I don't know.
What if?
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't be who I am today, though.
Would you be mega crazy?
Maybe. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, buddy. I've done some really crazy shit, bro. I've done some insane, crazy shit.
What if you fall in another dimension where you're the Joker?
I mean, it's not like it's a big jump.
I can imagine you
I
being.
just like I couldn't act him, but I could I could do the things that he does. Like I know how to make a very big bomb, and I know how to do it like right underneath people's noses.
Oh, that's nice. But what do you think of Truck Driver Billy?
I don't know Truck Driver Billy.
But he's Truck Driver Billy. Everyone likes Truck
I mean,
Driver.
I like truck drivers. I like truck drivers. I just don't know who Billy is.
He's the famous Billy. Had the Hoven Files.
What?
Yeah, yeah. The show that talks about Kent Hova called the Hoven Files.
Why don't you like him? I don't understand that. What is it that he did to you?
Oh, I don't. Only thing I had a problem with what he said about Mark before, but stuff like that. But besides that,
Well, I mean, Mark has made some pretty outlandish claims too that he really can't back up.
like why?
Well, I don't really want to rehash it anymore, but he told me some bullshit about how Ket had something to do with some kid's disappearance and that somebody got arrested. The dude got arrested, but he didn't get arrested to have anything to do with Zaire, right? Like, and the fact that he told me a faulty name, and I went on wild goose chase trying to figure out where the kid was. Like, the whole thing was just stupid. Like, you know, if you have your facts straight, you should then disseminate them. But if you don't have your facts straight, you should just keep your mouth shut. He clearly didn't have his facts straight. He gave me a wrong name. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not worth really rehashing though. It's because he's not going to take responsibility for what he did. He's just going to blame me, like I didn't hear him right or something. And yeah, and it doesn't count that it's a lie, right? Because he was just mistaken. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, right? Like if you don't know what you're talking about and you go and say something, that's tantamount to not saying something when you know what you're talking about. In my book, either way, it's a freaking lie.
Oh. It was a mistake. They ended up finding his name. At first they said it was a different name, but they found out what.
Yeah, no. Well, they shouldn't have said anything. If they didn't have the right name, they shouldn't have said anything. That's the bottom line. You don't go to the press like, "Oh, Zaire's missing." Well, who the fuck is Zaire? Zaire's not even his real name, or maybe it is.
Well,
I don't know. How the fuck should I know?
That was his real name. The name they. What the? Front.
It doesn't matter. Look, it really doesn't matter. He's not going to take responsibility for it, right? And Kent Hovind's not going to hold him responsible. So it really doesn't matter anymore. Like, he's not even interested in it. It's like, and there's no money in it. What is Kent Hovind going to get something out of it? Like, I know there's damage to his reputation because of what he said, but he's not going to get any money out of Mark Stoney.
Hi, Ayden.
Okay.
Well, it's not Ayden that you're talking to right now. It's Kent Hovind. Thank you very much. How's it going, gentlemen?
What's up, Mr. Hovind?
Well, I'll tell you what. We've been operating really good over here at Dinosaur Adventure Scam right now. Things are going really well. Or you're in Mentits, Alabama. Things are going great.
Yes.
So,
that's one
how
of
about
his
yourself?
personalities.
I'm doing okay.
Well, that's good. That's good. I hope that you're donating plenty to our 777 club. If you donate $7
Oh, yeah, we're moving.
single day, then you can join our 777 club, Dustin.
Well, on the down low, I'm already a part of the 777 club.
Well, I already figured that you were, but I've already said many times, I don't even check that thing because I don't actually care about the people who donate and support my ministry. I mean, come on.
That's one of his personalities. The other one is Brett King.
Well, Brett Keane. It's been said many times. So the Brett Keane voice is literally just Kent Hovind.
Okay, I guess he's just moving up. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm at work.
Oh, that's right.
My bad.
How are you today, Ayden?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. How about yourself?
Good. Earlier, Miss Mott had a show. They wanted you on there to do Fire Chuck's impression.
They wanted me on the show to do what now?
Fire Chuck impression.
Oh, well. Hello, everyone. Grace and peace to everyone. Father Charles here, and today we're gonna go on an action-packed dissertation all about scripture and what it has to say about Dustin being...
You're too fast. You need to slow down.
What was... Sorry, what was that?
Your pace is too fast.
I'm working. I'm trying my best. Right? It's not something that you just perfect overnight, Dustin. I mean, come on.
He wanted to hear your impression, but I couldn't find a video where you do it.
It's not the most common one of my impressions, I'll admit that. It's not the one that gets used most frequently.
Would you like to do Miss Mod impression?
Oh, hey everybody, Miss Mod here, and I'm just here to make a totally calm video and then go off halfway through and go off on an absolute tirade about 30 different people.
Until the man with the paddy wagon show up and wrap you in the suit with the really long arms.
She's gonna hear this, and then I'm gonna get a message because of this from her already. I can tell. Thank you, Gangster Ghost.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, sorry.
You know what I found really funny, Dustin? You were talking about stupid as a certain person coined the term. He was the one that first started calling him stupid, but He was saying, and I'm sure you remember, Dustin, there was so many times that he was like, well, the other reason I'm coming around here is just because of Gangster Ghost, you know? I'm just here for GG, I'm here to hang out with him, and that's the only reason why I'm here. Do you recall him saying anything along those lines?
Multiple times I do recall him saying that.
Yeah. So me and Atheist Jr. did a stream yesterday on a completely different channel. Like, on Atheist Jr.'s channel. Nothing to do with any of this, what's going on. None of that was mentioned. None of that had anything to do with what we were talking about. And who's one of the first people that shows up in chat to go, hey, is it okay if I join the stream, or is it atheist only? Just constantly in the chat. But he doesn't care about any of the people over here. He doesn't care about any of the people.
Well, and that's the other thing is like he doesn't really care about anything, right? I mean, he cares about what people think, to a certain degree, right? If they're people he quote unquote respects, but he doesn't care about boundary lines. He doesn't care about issues that are brought up to his face. He just rolls over them like a steamroller, like, oh, these aren't even here.
Yeah, and then he's shocked to like turn around at the very end and just find this like path of destruction behind him, and the angry mob just like gathered around to go, why the hell did you do this, and just like waste everybody's time. And he's like, what's going on? What? It's not me that did any of this. It's one of you guys in the angry mob's fault. All right, that's your guys' fault. All right, that can't be my fault. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing back there, so it couldn't be my fault.
Oh, dude, you just. Well, I'm trying to patch things together over there. I agree with most of what you're saying, but I'm not allowed to agree with it. So you're wrong, but you're right.
You're wrong, but you're right.
Well, what if you're right, but you're wrong?
Hey, Logan.
Then I would have no reason to argue at all.
Can I share my screen for my thing that I'm playing?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
It's just a game that I'm playing. It's not any video or anything, if that's alright with you.
Yeah. What game are you playing?
I'm just playing a game called Europa Universalis here. Can you see it all?
Yeah.
Here, just give it 1 sec.
Yeah. Oh, do you ever play Worlds of Warships?
I have played that with Mark a few times, but this absolute mess that you see here in the middle of Europe, of all these different countries, do you see that? Yeah, that's the Holy Roman Empire in the year 1054 AD. So this mod is actually a different version of the game that I usually play, because the game that I usually play takes place all over the world, whereas this one only takes place within primarily Europe, North Africa, and some parts of the Middle East and Asia. But the reason why it's condensed is because if you zoom in, all of the little individual provinces and towns and everything are actually all individually represented on the map here. So that's why I like playing with this one, because if I don't want to be one of the big countries like England or what will eventually become France or Spain or any one of these different countries, you would want to go around and colonize all the different other parts of the world like you do typically in this game. But if I want to play something like, oh, I don't know, maybe Venice, which is this tiny little country right here over in Italy, then I would probably want to focus on a mod like this, because it gives way more detail to this particular part of the world, because I'm probably not going to, if I play as a country like Venice or like Bohemia or Poland or something like that, I'm not really going to worry about anything outside of Europe.
Is it a missing mod?
It's a missing mod. That's true. You guys we can keep having conversation as normal. I was just giving a little bit of an introduction to the game.
That's nice. What do you do in the game? Like, do you play like if you're in Call of Duty?
No. You play. This is the view of the game that you play as. You play as these different countries here. You choose one of these. You see all of these different colors here on this map. Mm-hmm. So if I click on, let's see, Call over here, this one little tiny country right here in the middle of the Holy Roman Empire, I could play as that if I wanted to. No, I wouldn't want to, because it's probably not going to be the funnest experience. But if you want to play as a really big player in the historical books like Saxony or Denmark or Bohemia, Hungary, the Byzantine Empire.
But why are they so hungry?
They're hungry for land, Logan. And that's what this game is essentially all about. It's about conquering and trading and trying to balance out your own empire against everybody else's empires, essentially. It's really not a typical game that a lot of people enjoy, but it's a game that I really enjoy sitting down and playing. And I was playing a game called Escape from Tarkov earlier today, and that one is actually quite similar to what you were talking about, Gangster Ghost. It's a lot more of like a Call of Duty-esque game, but every once in a while, I have my good days and I have my bad days in those games, and I was having a really bad day. Like, I was just getting my butt kicked constantly. So,
but did you escape from Tarkov?
I did not escape from Tarkov. I died multiple times, actually. It was not.
Do you ever play any games?
I play World War II on my phone recently.
Huh?
That's about it.
You should play Escape from Targon with Ayden.
You gotta have a PC to do that. I don't know if Dustin has a PC.
Do you have a PC?
I don't have a PC. I have a laptop, but I don't have a PC.
Nah, that's fair enough. Yeah, even my PC, which is actually pretty decent as far as PCs go, I need to get some things moved around and sorted out in order to properly play that game. It's just one of those really demanding games, so this one is not demanding as far as graphics are concerned. Play a lot of intricate.
So where do we go from here, Ayden?
Where do we go from here, Dustin? That is the question. I agree. I'm just gonna play my game and follow whatever conversation goes on in the background.
Did you and Skylar kiss and make up?
Of course.
Oh, that's good.
What other option did we really have, Gangster Ghost? I mean, come on.
I had a feeling you guys knew each other like that.
I mean,
you know what you're doing, Ayden. Like, you know exactly how to push people into certain corners. I would almost wonder how much of Lupin's freakouts are orchestrated.
I don't know. I will say overtly, and I would hope you would trust my honesty in saying this, that if he gets into a huge freakout moment, or at least any of the ones I can remember recently, like, I have not goaded him into any one of those. He has thrown himself into that in the same way that he does countless other times that I'm sure you know as well. So
I'm trying to find a reason. I don't understand. It's either that he continually sees a result that he's after, or it's insanity and he expects a different result. I'm not sure.
It's not one of those things that's easy to answer, is all that I really have to say in response to that. Like, it's not one of those things that is an open and shut case that you'll easily be able to just go, oh yeah, that's the reason why, I know why now. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things that it's kind of up in the air, and it's up to ourselves as individuals to try and determine how we navigate through those circumstances, and he's just chosen not to be the greatest example of somebody that knows how to navigate through those circumstances. That's really the best way I can put it.
With respect to speculation, do you honestly see Lupin in his mind being able to come into that stream the other day with you and AJ having any positive effect?
Well, no, and that's why I specifically pointed it out. I wasn't trying to encourage him to even go on there. I was trying to point out to you that even though he says that he only comes on these shows to try and talk to Gangster Ghost, that's overtly not true, and his actions show that that's not true. So
I know, but I'm trying to. I'm asking for you to use that big brain in that skull of yours, right? And maybe speculate, because you know Lupin better than I do. What possible goal could he have for trying to show up over there with you and Atheist AJ? I mean,
I think there's an easy answer. I could certainly give you an easy answer to that. It's I don't know if it's going to be an accurate one, but he just wanted to stir up trouble. He just wanted to...
I mean, I really do hope that his brain works beyond 2 dimensions. I'm holding out hope that somewhere I'm going to find a level that he goes beyond this move, then that move, then I'm waiting. Like,
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. Dude, I was in a very similar position at one point with Steven, Dustin. All right, and this is me talking. This is not your opinion. The views of Ayden Linden do not necessarily represent the views of Dustin Buck. But when I was dealing with Steven a lot more than I was now, I had a similar position where I was like, there's got to be this other aspect to him, this other side that I can find that is a lot more... And I'm not saying I didn't find anything, but as far as the thinking side of things is concerned, yes, he is very 2-dimensional in his thinking and how he processes things. I think that he's got some redeemable aspects to him. Like, he's not a, like, I thought that clip that he had on his channel the other day of one of his kids, they ended up going on there. I don't know if that was accidental or on purpose or whatever, but I thought it was cute. Like, that was a cute moment. So it's not like we're dealing with, like, the boogeyman here. That's absolutely deplorable and horrible, like he would make me out to be. But simultaneously, we've got to recognize that this is an individual who, when you try to engage with them on advanced topics, they basically either defer to somebody else in the conversation or they make a total fool of themselves. Like, those are the only two outcomes I've had when I've really tried engaging with him on serious subjects. And it would be one thing if he was just willing to admit, maybe I'm not the best in terms of knowledge on these topics. That'd be fine. I'd respect that. But he doesn't say that. He tries to act like he's an authority on these things, but then simultaneously he also wants to excuse himself of any authority when it goes bad for him. So,
are you sure that that's not just a language barrier? I mean, there are times when I'm listening to what he says, and then he goes off a syntax, and his sentence structure gets broken, and then I have to kind of piece it back together.
You know what?
I
thought of something just now, Dustin. I was going to play as Venice in this game, but I've got an even better idea. You know what's better fitting for this stream? I'm going to play as the Pope. I'm going to play as the Pope.
You're going to play as the Pope? Yeah. That's a good idea. I mean, if you're going to start somewhere, you might as well start at the start.
What if Dustin is the real life Pope?
What if Dustin is the real?
I don't want a fish on my head, okay? I don't want to wear a fish. Don't make me do that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it's... I don't think that Dustin would... I don't think that he'd last all that long in that position. Not because, like, he wouldn't be good at it.
They'd catch me smoking weed in the attic and I'd be done.
Dude, some like 83-year-old cardinal from Venezuela would come and like garrote him in his sleep or something like that. It would just be over.
Wow. What if he make you his vice pope?
His vice pope, you said?
Yeah. We like.
Well, I promise you this much: the smoke that's coming out of the stack is not wood fire.
Oh my goodness.
What are they doing in there? Just a meeting of men, and then smoke comes billowing out of the stack.
That's definitely more on point than I am today. I'll give that to him. I just want to play video games, and Dustin's just firing all cylinders into there. Or put it working on all cinder blocks. You're working on all cinder blocks right now, Dustin.
Oh, I fucking love it.
Is there a more Brett Keane saying, though? Like, really?
Cinder block.
Ayden, what if you fall into another dimension where you and Dustin are brothers, but Brett is your father?
What if you fell into an alternate dimension, Logan, where Brett Keane was the Pope and Father Charles was Satan?
I don't know.
You know what I think would be a better question to ask? What if you were from another dimension and you found yourself in this life here?
Yeah. That'd be
if you were from another dimension and you found yourself here, well, I mean, what dimension are we talking about?
Like, say there was a dimension where chickens held average jobs and drove cars, right? And then you just kind of
Morty premise. I got you.
Right, and then you end up here where like we're stuck with this mediocre reality, and things are all tied to physicalism, and there's no explanation for why chickens drive cars.
I think a really entertaining one for me would be like if they had like a universe where you could like breathe underwater and people could just like breathe water and that was okay and that didn't mess with our like biology whatsoever, didn't make us drown, and like that person just immediately goes and tries to like jump in the ocean or something. It doesn't go. But it would be quite funny. It'd be quite
like there's a higher oxygen content in the water and it doesn't bother our lungs.
Yeah, exactly. The water's way more oxygenated, or our lungs never actually fully changed in their morphology from gills, and they were able to
Ayden.
adapt somehow under different circumstance.
What would you do if they found a way to turn chickens into dinosaurs again?
Well,
Tiny-
you know,
I mean, they say that chickens are T-Rexes. I mean,
they're the
that's what they
the
say.
closest living descendant to the Tyrannosaurus. That's correct. They're the closest living descendant, but it's actually not the chicken as we know it. It's the chicken that Achilles totally forgot to mention yesterday or the day before when he was making his argument about how, well, if things were not created, then why can chickens not fly? That is very clear evidence of design. It's like, yeah, it is. You're right. But do you know what the difference is? It's not designed from somebody snapping their fingers. It's selective breeding over many thousands of years. And we can show that because the closest descendant of the chicken that we have is a living descendant. It's the red Chinese jungle fowl, and they can fly. It's not over very.
Yeah, they actually can. Yeah, that's true. They actually can. Yeah, that's true. Chickens were selectively breeded to not fly. Like, yeah,
Well, imagine trying to keep livestock that could just fly out of the pen. Like, of course, you're going to
right.
breed for chicklets that don't exhibit as large of wings or weaker wings.
But I think you were taking Achilles a little too serious. That was a joke.
I mean,
They were literally joking about how like the reason that chickens are created is because they can be caught, right? I mean, that was a joke.
No, I know.
I think you took him a little.
I'm not saying necessarily that it's something that. I just think it's indicative to me of very lazy arguments. So maybe I am taking it the Achilles route and taking it seriously when it shouldn't be taken serious, but it just struck me as a really silly argument. So
Yeah, well, because they were talking about Cat Williams and how he was joking about that.
no, I think I understand a little bit better now that you've because
That one. Oh, great.
because I'll be honest with you, I don't watch too much of the context surrounding that. I mainly just get it from the other side of the. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I'm deeply informed about every single little thing that they say. That'd be a lie. So
Cat Williams is that guy?
Well, then you were lying to me before.
Oh.
well, no, I'm not saying that. No, listen to me. I'm not saying that I'm not informed in terms of like watching. I don't watch them. But you can be informed via other means. I guess I termed that wrong.
Oh, okay. Cat Williams is that guy a cat?
And it's like
He is.
knows what he's saying, right? But then he gets lazy with the way you're supposed to say it. And that's not like Lupin, where Lupin gets caught in this like infinite loop, right? I think his mistake because he gets.
Is he breaking up for you as well?
Yeah. It's because he's breaking up in his mind.
Oh, is his mind breaking apart right now?
Yeah.
Dustin, your sight is fracturing before our eyes. Okay, late. So I'll have to look this up. Because the year that I'm looking to start at is 1144 AD. And, oh, I see. So the Vatican is actually a different... Oh, they've modeled it as a different province from the actual city of Rome. That's fantastic. I didn't think that they would get that detailed with it.
You serious? What do you think of that guy, Cat Williams?
What do I think of Cat Williams? Honestly, I haven't really seen too much of his material, but what I have seen of his material hasn't exactly made me, fall out of my seat laughing or anything. And that's not to say that he's inherently bad. I just have a pretty particular taste when it comes to comedians, personally.
Oh.
Dustin took issues with that.
Okay.
He's upset.
Lupin is making a mistake by using Cat Williams as anything, because there are times when he's two-faced. He'll profess to be Christian when it's fashionable, right? But then he'll turn on a dime and all of a sudden he's hood nigger and blah this and blah that. It's
Hey, come on now with that. Come on, let's not throw that around on Gangster's channel. Come on.
I mean, but that's his term. I'm not being racist. That's his term.
No, I'm not even saying that you're inherently being racist for using that term, because I'm not of that opinion that you are inherently racist just for using the word. But I just think it's just a matter of respect for Gangster's channel. That's
Do you think Steven's a leprechaun?
No,
I think Steven is
he never shows me his gold.
Oh.
That's the only reason why he doesn't pick that, by the way.
What if he walks out in the wood one day, people take a picture of him?
And besides that, he'd be the tallest leprechaun there ever was.
You see, Steven could be Bigfoot.
Yeah, I think so. I think you look at hair on, lose the shirt, and stick him in the wild for a month. Yeah, I think we could pull it off.
This is great. So as the Pope, I actually get a special tab on the actions that I can take against people called papal actions. So you can call for crusade against countries that aren't the same religion as you, like over here in the Levant and whatnot, if I wanted to expand there, or Africa or something like that. So I could call for a crusade, or I could, against fellow Christian nations, I could excommunicate them, which means that I could go to war with them without actually needing a legal reason to go to war. I could just be like, yeah, I'm the Pope man, and you're not cool anymore, so I can go to war with you now. This is great. What a beautiful time to be alive, honestly.
Yeah, that's what Dustin would do. He would just war them.
All right, you're bad because I say so. You guys gotta
go. Communicate everybody on this. There's a subscription fee. Yeah,
I can see that for sure.
Subscription fee, and if you go over.
So who do I want to make my allies here? That's one of the biggest questions you've got to get early on in the game, because it's not just a matter of declaring war on everybody in this game. Everybody likes to ally with everybody else, and I'm in Italy right now in the Middle Ages, which means that there's 100 different little city-states, as you can see. And Italy basically in the Middle Ages became what ancient Greece was in the classical era. It's kind of funny how that ended up turning out, because in the classical era, Greece as a country was centralized.
It's in Ireland.
What's that?
You want in Ireland. Ireland is where all the best steel is, and French has a lot of roving idiots that are willing to go to war right now.
Oh. Where did Greece get its name? Is it because it's very greasy there?
No, Greece, I said it on a different stream. Greece is an exonym, actually. So is Byzantium. So do you see this right now, Logan? Do you see my screen? So yeah, this word right here, Byzantium, that's not actually the word that this empire at this particular time would have called itself. Byzantium was the Eastern Roman Empire in a legal sense, in a political sense, in a continuity sense compared to the Roman Empire that was there before it. This is, for all intents and purposes, the last remnant of the Roman Empire in the Middle Ages. But we call it in the West Byzantium because that's an easy way to differentiate it from the earlier period in Roman history when Rome was dominant over all of the Mediterranean Sea. Because at this point in history, the culture of the Roman Empire did indeed shift and become more predominantly Greek, because the Greek culture had always been, at that point in time, the most dominant culture at this point in this half of the world. Or at least the Mediterranean world, I should say. But yeah, I find it kind of a funny historical parallel that in the classical world, Italy over here was centralizing under Rome and was getting under the control of only one country, whereas Greece was split into 100 different little warring city-states that were constantly fighting with each other until Alexander brought them together. And then in medieval times, Greece is centralized under one government, that being the Romans, who moved from over here to over here because that was the last part of their empire left. And Italy, the place that used to be centralized, is now fractured apart into 100 different little city-states that are all fighting each other. It's weird how history works that way. How the cycle turns in such a way that it's not necessarily obvious in very short windows, but if you look at it in a very broad time scale, it's absolutely, at least what I see when I look at history.
Wow.
You were talking about France, Dustin, and France is actually pretty interesting at this time as well. It was like I was talking about before at some other point. I forget when I mentioned it, but if I go into this map mode, this will show you that this green here is all of the actual French territory. That is all the territory that the actual King of France, King Louis VII Capet at this point in time, would have had direct control over. Now, all of that light blue stuff, you see all that aquamarine stuff? Gangster Ghost?
Yeah.
All those, okay. All of those are all different little territories that gave fealty to the King of France. So if you were, say, the Duke of Burgundy, or the Count of Perigord, or any one of these different little suzerainties to the King of France, you were technically under his control, but much like the Holy Roman Empire at this point in history, it was very decentralized. It was very much so, oh yeah, well, we all have individual agreements with the king of how much we're actually going to contribute to wars. Are we going to contribute taxes? Are you going to contribute manpower? Are you going to contribute a little bit of both? So the Holy Roman Empire is interesting in the fact that while the Kingdom of France did centralize and did eventually come under total control of the Capetian dynasty through a few different factors, one of them being the crusade against the Cathars over in southern France in the Toulouse region, not too long after this point where I'm starting in this game, gave them a whole bunch of direct control over southern France. But through a few different factors, they were able to centralize as a country, and the Holy Roman Empire wasn't able to centralize into a country like Germany until almost 1,000 years later, relatively speaking. So it's, to me, I'm sorry if I'm just totally rambling and making sense, but go ahead, Dustin.
And we can't forget French toast.
And French toast.
Existentialism
and French toast.
And French toast, man.
That's very true. It's very true.
And crepes. Crepes, too. Crepes. We can't forget the crepe or omelette du fromage. All of the different things that they came up with there.
It's true.
Cash, why do you call Claude a frog? He doesn't identify as a frog. He identifies as a rat.
It's an insult. It's specifically to French people. It's a French insult.
Yeah. No, he doesn't intentionally.
Oh yeah, no, I'm being xenophobic. I'm being very xenophobic there. You must know I am in way red territory when I say that. And it's funny because nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about.
Does Ayden identifies as a chicken?
All right, I'm gonna roll the dice for a general here. That's
right,
Ayden. Good stats. That's literally the worst. That's almost the worst kind of stats you could get for a general. Thank you so much, RNGesus.
You're
really
welcome.
Appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna try and fight this war against this guy that has direct control over the city of Rome. I've got 1,000 more troops than he does, but my troops are being led by the Middle Ages equivalent of Lupin if he had control of an army. So
Wow.
I don't know how this is gonna go. Oh, I've got to wait until the 15th of August.
Guess who's here?
Who's here?
Mr. Logo.
Mr. Logo is here. Hello, Mr. I was about to tab out and check who is here. Thank you for letting me know.
Mr. Logo, are you there? You're muted.
Oh,
Logo in the house.
Mr. Logo, yeah,
Got to go.
bring us a treat. Bum, bum, bum. Mr. Logo, oh, no. Dustin.
Mr. Logo, bring us a make it as effective as I've ever seen. Make sure you pull.
No punches.
Would Dustin like to get in a discussion between him and Logo over evolution?
Do what now?
Would you like to debate him over evolution?
I mean, if he feels like it, I feel like I'm more prepared right now to debate Mr. Logo, but when it comes to somebody like Big Bad Mama or Ayden, I feel like there has to be a subject and a study period. But yeah, I'd debate Mr. Logo right now.
He's Mr. Logo.
How could you do that?
Sorry.
I can't believe that you'd do such a thing.
What?
I'm gonna launch
Debate
a
him?
crusade basically right off the beginning of the game. I'm gonna go do a crusade for North Africa, so let's hope that goes well. Lots of people are gonna join me, I'm sure. I'm gonna engender nothing but confidence in this crusade. I don't have any allies right now. Nobody likes. Oh, it's against North Africa primarily for Tunis, the area that used to be Carthage. So they're a lot more weak and destabilized than the other regions I could have put out. So that's basically my thinking behind that. Oh, I'm getting a call.
And you're Rome, so you would have to go through like Arabia, right?
No, I can just swing down from the Mediterranean over here. I've got direct
That's
access.
that too. But you
Here,
still have you.
I gotta take this phone call. Sorry, just give me 1 sec.
Okay. Is Logo with us?
No, he's having probably connection problems.
Connection problems. Yeah, that Germany.
Actually, he's in Sweden now.
He's in Sweden. Oh, that's even worse.
They're very sweet there.
Swedish.
You said you're part Swedish?
Yeah, I'm half Swedish.
Oh, I have Swedish. I found out from Vikings that invaded Scotland. I have some Swedish, Norwegian, I guess. What if I'm
You're
related?
Scottish?
Yeah.
I mean, if we were related, it would be really distant. It'd be way distant. I have a way better shot of being related to Deviant Outcast.
It says I'm 59% British and Irish. That's English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish. Scott Irish.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Mr. Logo. What's up, guy?
Hi. Hello. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm alive and well. How about yourself?
Good,
you-
thank you.
Have a discussion with Dustin over evolution.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
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 Hello, Ayden. Nice to see you playing. What is that game?
Oh, this is Europa Universalis 4 is what it's called.
Ah, okay. That's a strategy game, right?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't it wasn't damn it, what's Arabia? Wasn't they really dependent on Africa around this time?
Well, Arabia at this point in time was primarily under control of the Fatimids and Abbasids, depending on which part of the Arabian subcontinent that you're talking about. So it really, the Fatimids were a primarily Egyptian-based power, whereas the Abbasids,
Right.
at the very end of their history, were based primarily out of Baghdad. So they both kind of took on parallel histories. The Abbasids actually used to have control as a caliphate over all of the area that the Fatimids
You can
had
make it.
over earlier than this point in time. But the Abbasids are honestly out of the primary caliphs, probably the most unstable out of all of the primary caliphs. It didn't last as long as the Rashidun Caliphate or the Umayyads, because the Umayyads were able to go and move over into area over here in Spain. They've got a bit of a rump state over here on this side of the world. Here, I'll try to close some of the menus. So, Komita takes the cross. Where's Komita? Wow, is it just not a real play? I want to see where it is. Where is it, game?
Ayden.
See, I thought Arab was reliant on Africa for trade.
Well, modern day Arabia is certainly relying on Africa for trade, but the reason for why it's relying on Africa for trade is because of the Suez Canal, and the Suez Canal was constructed along this area right here. It was actually an area. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've got a few countries that decided to join me for the crusade. That's good, but for the sake of illustrating this, the Suez Canal went through this area right over here that connects the Sinai Peninsula to Egypt. That was constructed in the 1880s, I believe, by the British Empire, and facilitated way easier access around Africa to the Red Sea. It's not modeled fully on this particular map, but if you did have a full version of this map, the Red Sea would extend down over here and go around the Arabian Peninsula fully. But yeah, the Red Sea was not. It's not to say that it was an irrelevant shipping route. It certainly was very important to the local area directly adjacent to it, for countries like the Fatimids, Hijaz, Ethiopia, Ahum. But it wasn't until the construction of the Suez Canal, global shipping route, that was extremely important to everybody.
You serious?
Interesting. Okay. That's weird. I'm gonna have to go and look at that, because I was under the impression that there was a really good relationship at this period, but weird.
What do you think, Mr. Logo?
Well, Ayden knows a lot of that, right? Ayden seems to know a lot about history.
Well, he's way more learned than I am. That's for sure.
Ayden, have you ever met that guy, Aaron Raw?
I've never met him. No, I've certainly heard of him, but I've never met him. Would it be unchrist-like? Can I just get a poll right now of the current participants if I attacked the city of Rome because it doesn't directly belong to me right before a crusade? Like, would that be
absolutely unprovoked? That is completely unchristian-like.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Dustin.
What?
Yeah, he commented on my video.
I know. I saw that. I'm not interested in talking with him. I know why he wants to talk to me, and I'm not interested.
I can see you take him. You could take him.
It wouldn't be worth it.
Crazy. You have a talk to that guy. You guys would go crazy.
Okay, good news. Latium, which is the place that I want to go and try and take, they haven't agreed to the crusade yet. So if I'm able to squeeze it in between when I'm able to declare war on the 15th of August and the 3rd of August, which is right now, if I can get it between those, then I can totally attack them, and it's just fine. Nope.
Did you see
Mr. Logo?
Good, thank you. What's up?
Would you like
Not
to debate
much.
Dustin over his evolution magic?
His evolution. Oh.
There's one guy I seen said that illusion is a magic wand.
No.
I mean, like how would you? Well, here's the thing though: is like you got a bunch of non-living things interacting with a bunch of other non-living things. They're unconscious.
Well,
So I mean, like, what is it inside of the organism that promotes evolution? I mean, you can explain the factors outside of the body, right? But you can't explain the factors inside the body.
Okay, I gotta be real, gents. I've never actually done a crusade in this particular game before, so I don't know how it works. I don't know how the mechanics of it work, because I've always been one of the people that agrees to do it. I've never been the guy leading it, so let's hope that it goes well. The Duke of Antioch has enthusiastically answered our call to take up the cross. Sweet. You're way over here. What are you doing in this?
Did you see Germany at the time? It consisted of like thousands of states, right?
Oh yeah,
Little,
here, I'll
small.
show you.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Oh yes, that's the absolute beauty of the Holy Roman Empire right there. What are you talking about? The fact that if you zoom in, there's like 100,000 different little borders that squiggle around each other and have 100 different little exclaves and enclaves that go into each other and make no sense when you actually really extrapolate.
No,
out.
that's already like too far north. Further south. I'm further from south. Like yeah,
More around
but
Bavaria.
north of Switzerland. Like where is that?
Oh,
Switzerland
yeah.
is not like no Alsace. No, Alsace is too far west. Yeah, but
Right
zoom
around
in.
Swabia?
Yes, exactly.
Ah,
Staufen, yeah, Hohenstaufen. That is me.
there you go. There
Or
you go.
Hohenstaufen, Hohenzollern. Yeah, that is me.
That's awesome. Well, they've got your individual city modeled on this map, so there you go.
what country would you take over, Mr. Logo?
I'm sure he'd find it kind of fun to play as Swabia at this particular time. I'm
Yes,
sure he would.
yes. I
You
would,
know what?
I would take USA and invade Canada. How about that?
Oh,
A bunch of Comanche chiefs against a bunch of immigrants. Well, first off, you gotta adapt your Indians to cold climate. That's not gonna work out too well. Invade Canada. They're all gonna freeze to death before they get anywhere.
but Ayden's already the king of Canada.
That's true. That's true.
Honda.
By syrup right, I rule over Canada.
By syrup, right? He finally acknowledged the syrup.
Eh?
I have been trying to get him to explain to me the secret of the syrup, the secret of the Canadian syrup.
I could never tell you. I would be I'd literally be taken out and shot if I told you.
I'm familiar with the consequences, and I still want to know. That is a risk I am willing to take.
Of course, you're not the one that actually ends up suffering any of the consequences, do you? Easy for you to say.
Right. Working on the issue.
Okay, I've got enough people on my side at this point. Let's hope that they can't get a bunch of people on their side too, because if they can, this is going to get really messy really quickly.
Serious? Ayden, yeah, would you like if they made a Call of Duty style version of Contra?
Of Contra?
Yeah, but in Call of Duty style?
I can't imagine that it would be all that fun, to be totally honest with you. It would be very low. Well, you know, maybe if it was like a Doom style like game, maybe you could make that work. But
Ayden, are you into cooperation multiplayer games, or are you only solo player?
no, I like playing shooters with my friends whenever they actually are willing to play the game. Like,
Oh,
I
Okay,
like playing
good.
Escape from Tarkov, but my other friends are not huge fans of that one because it's a very on the hardcore side of shooter games.
Oh. Mr. Logo, you ever play game? Could you play games with people in other countries like America, Canada, Mexico?
Yeah, no, I did not play with. I just chimed in short time for, in some people's like server or something, but for 7 Days to Die, right?
Oh yeah, 7 Days to. I have that game. I haven't played much of any of it, but I do have it.
Really?
So maybe we could play
Oh,
that at some point.
that would be fine, but but I would have to stock up first on technology. My computer is like kind of old.
I see. That's all right. That's all right.
Planned obsolescence, man. Planned obsolescence.
What mission did I fulfill?
Did you got a computer from 1998?
What?
No, mine is from what is that? 2019
Oh.
something, but it's a
When
gaming
it's already
laptop.
outdated?
Yes, essentially yes. Well, it's
Damn.
i5 core, but today they have like i7 or more, right? I'm sure that like gaming, even laptops have like way higher.
What do you think of that guy inspiring philosophy? Does he inspire you to philosophy?
You know, you ask
Inspiring
about him a
compromise.
lot, so I'm gonna say he's stinky. I don't
Okay.
like him. I don't like him.
Yeah,
I'm against him only because he's real.
I seen on his show the other day. This one guy, he said, "Yeah, I'm not Michael Jordan rapper." You see that guy? You can definitely tell it's me. He was being sarcastic, but it was funny.
All right,
Oh.
I'm gonna win this war. I'm winning it.
Yeah. But
This is the action-packed gameplay that you were waiting for, Logan. This is the battle. It's people
Do
poking
you
at each
actually
other
get
and a
to
bunch of numbers.
Do you actually get to see any of the battle or no?
No, that's not the kind of game. That's not.
You just see your territory expand or contract based on certain conditions.
Basically, it's more a game of managing resources and alliances and trying to counterbalance people using those circumstances against you. Basically, cool. Crusade started while I'm at war with fellow Christian countries, so that's always a good look. It's a very good look. We joined a military coalition for the crusade. Let's see how many people joined us for that crusade. Quite a few, it seems, because all of those green countries are countries that agreed to join us. All those red countries are countries that are fighting us. So, all things considered, this is shaping up to be a pretty easy war. But
Ayden,
yes,
Michael Jones, Inspire guy, he's a theistic evolutionist.
he's a theistic evolutionist. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he
No,
believes in evolution.
No, I was just pulling a gangster ghost there.
He said God used evolution to create Adam and Eve.
I mean, it's not stated anywhere in scripture, so I would.
Well, now hold on there, Ayden. What do you consider a human made out of? Stardust. What did God make man and woman out of? Dust.
I mean, like, we're made out of stardust only in the fact that the more advanced elements past iron need to be made in stellar explosions. Yeah, you're correct, but that's not to say that that's the exact same thing as the Bible saying that we're made out of the dust of the earth, because those are two different, distinct things.
You serious?
I mean, how would you explain to a primitive man that? Copy that. How would you explain to primitive man that you're made out of stardust? I mean, you're dealing with like 3-year-old intelligences and 28-year-old bodies.
Well, he had the capacity at any time to give them that understanding, though.
I mean, if you want to be nitpicky, I suppose, but like, do you want to see your children learn something because you gave them the knowledge, or do you want them to have the knowledge and develop it for themselves?
Oh, sweet. You're gonna
What do you
give
think,
me a
Mr.
bunch of
Logo?
ships and stuff? That's awesome.
Well, Mr. Logo, what do you think of Michael Jones?
I don't know him. I don't. Who is that?
He also debated Kent in a debate, and he had Kent's
Okay.
2 wives on there.
Ken's
Mary
who? Ken's
Like,
2
yeah.
wives. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Mary Taco and
Mary Taco?
Yeah. She
Mary
laid
Taco.
Taco Bell.
Yeah,
That's what Father Charles called her before. It was an accident.
I want
Is
to
that
welcome
Maria
Mary
Taco, you mean?
Taco.
Maria Taco? Lucy?
Yeah. Mary Taco. Yeah. She laid the Taco Bell.
It's funny, Dustin. Laugh.
Ha ha ha.
I am laughing.
I know. I'm just messing around. So this is the good part. Everybody else is gonna kind of like do the heavy lifting of actually fighting the crusade, and I'm gonna like expand my territory in Italy while everyone else is busy. So
Oh, that's nice.
it's great
you
being
can
the
order
guy
from
in
Best
charge.
Buy.
Yeah, that's a similar thing. Like with Hearts of Iron 4 is a strategy game.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
can
by
also, like-
Paradox. That's the company that made this.
Yes, it's the same company.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. I just got excited.
That's all right.
No, I just thought this is the similar strategy game, right?
Yes, it is definitely similar.
You serious?
No, I'm joking around.
Oh, okay.
No, you can also like wiggle your way through, right? In Hearts of Iron 4.
Yes.
Even
there's-
with spies and stuff, right? With intelligence and things.
Yeah,
right?
there's a few different mechanics in this game about wars. As far as Hearts of Iron is based on like a frontline system, from what I understand, and this game is based on a lot of siege tactics.
Okay.
It's you've got to manage which areas you're trying to besiege and try to keep a balance of keeping those areas you want to take over siege down while also managing to fight off their army in the field as well. So anybody that's fighting an offensive war is inherently at a slight disadvantage in that regard, where they have to juggle both of those things.
You really
But
serious? Where'd
yes.
Dustin go?
I think he went to go inspire some philosophy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he debated Kent too, just like you did.
Wow.
You'd be brothers.
You could, yes, we are actually. I am serious before you ask.
Ayden, are you Irish too?
Am I Irish? I have some Irish in my family.
I have English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish, German, French,
Why didn't you guys join the crusade, huh?
Viking.
Oh, we're so pious, but we're not actually going to join the crusade, losers. Whatever.
Are you part English?
Am I part English? Well, I'm primarily English more than any other ethnic group.
But what about you, Mr. Logo?
I don't know. I was just told that we originally came from France, but I'm not sure about it. I never made some DNA test or something to trace that back.
Oh, so you're saying that you have faith in that? You're just saying that you have faith that you came from there, but you don't actually have any evidence, Mr. Logo. I find that interesting.
No, and I'm not believing it. I'm like neutral on it, but that's just
sure.
what I was told, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I believe you. Totally.
My grandmother once said we were like our ancestors were Huguenots who had to flee from France.
Oh.
But I'm not sure about it.
What if we're related to Claude?
What if you're related to Claude? Well, I think we know. I think we know that that's actually true. I didn't realize Sicily had a tiny little foothold in North Africa in the 12th century. Interesting.
Thanks to you.
Calibia.
You ever been to any other countries?
Have I ever been to any other countries? I've been to England. I actually went to this part of England over here.
Oh.
I went over
You
to
ever,
Plymouth.
you ever been to America?
I went to America once, yes, when I was a child. I won a draw in the Canadian National Institute for the Blind's Dream to Take Flight program when I was a kid, so they took me to Disneyland.
Oh. You ever been to Mexico?
I've not been to Mexico. My fiance has been to Mexico, though.
Oh, that's nice. What about... Oh, I forgot to tell you. Guess who was on Miss Mod's show earlier?
Who else was on Missing Mod show?
Sea Science. Of course, he come on to start fights with Claude.
I'm not surprised. I mean, Sea Science isn't somebody that's actually interested in having any real discussions. Sea Science is just there to try and make himself feel better and puff himself up.
I just visited USA twice, like in Florida on holiday and in LA.
Oh.
That's the only places I saw.
You ever been to
There.
Berlin?
To where?
Berlin? The UK?
Berlin.
No, the
Britain.
Yeah.
Yes, I just visited London once, but it's a long time ago, like 30 years or something.
Oh.
Yeah, when I went to England, we didn't have very much time in London. We mainly stuck around this part of England, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's very beautiful. It's an extremely lovely part of the country, and there's lots to see over there, including over in Bath, which should be... There's Bristol. It should be over around here. It may not actually be a city at this point in history, but Bath is based off of one of the, I think actually the only natural aqua thermae source out of all of Britain, which is at Bath, the city of Bath. That's where it got its name from. Was built off of the ruins of the Roman bath that used to be there before they ended up abandoning Britannia in the 4th century.
Are you serious?
That's right. I love how they fabricated a claim. Like, these guys that I'm attacking fabricated a claim on my territory while I was at war with them. It's like, yeah, that's going to do you a lot of good while I'm sitting outside of your city about to take it. Yeah, and then I just took their city. Okay. Your territory is mine, and all of your money is mine, and you don't get any say in it, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There we go. We're back in business, baby. We got Rome back. Now we're cooking. All right. We can build one more soldier. I'm going to build one, and then I'm going to use my transport ships to get over to North Africa before everyone else gobbles up all that juicy land over there, because I've got claims on this stuff, and I want to grab me some of that. There's a lot of good trade nodes over here, so I can make me some good money over there. And money is another important thing that you have to manage in this game. Your state has a budget, and you have to manage it every single month. I'm currently in the green right now. I'm making 2.73 ducats every single month, and those ducats go towards building infrastructure in your country and managing your tax policies. And it's a very complex system, but I find it entertaining. I'm sorry if you want.
No, you don't.
Logan,
Yeah.
if you don't want me to...
I like to have some. I like this.
Gain 2 mercantilism. I'll definitely gain 2 mercantilism, because I don't have all that much of my income coming from trade. Only 24.
In Hearts of Iron 4, the gold is, so to say, like political points, right? Where you can take political actions, and it's like civilian companies and military companies.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because like civilian companies allow you to import things like steel and chromium for your production, and military companies allow you to quickly produce whatever rifles or armor or anything. So the system it doesn't have like money as such, right?
Yes. Yes. Do I want to do Italian navigation, light ship combat ability, trade range, trade power per ship and fleet? Definitely do that.
That is originally why Discord was made, right? For gamers.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, Skype used to be the one that everybody used, and I remember when Skype was the only one that was around for the longest time, and it was just horrible. It would never work properly. You would need to call somebody like 3 or 4 times just to actually get the call working, and yeah, it just got
Ayden.
loaded down by a bunch of bloatware garbage that nobody wanted. So, yes, Mr.
Would you like to hear what C Science Sitter is?
Do I have to? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead and play it.
She was scared of the IRS or the government. She's actually scared of it. That's a fact.
No, that could be. You could be actually right, Plus. When I say a product of my generation, I have to make this clear. I'm not a product of my generation, so.
But you're not an alpha male. Now, there's the other thing that comes in. Like me, just sweet and kind all the time. A bit like yourself. But
An alpha male. I love that term.
And,
That what Mark is. He's definitely an alpha male.
Well, Mark suits the title a lot better because Mark doesn't need to go around telling everybody what an alpha he is. And that's one thing I can find universally true about anybody in my life that's ever claimed to be an alpha male. The only ones that were ever really alpha males were the ones that didn't have to go bragging about it every 2 seconds.
Who like Mark Reed, or who is that?
Mark Stoney is who he's talking
Mark
about.
Stoney. Oh yeah, okay.
Because he's made out of stone.
It's true. It's a true fact. So they have a substantially larger army than me. They've got 11,000 and I only have 7,000. So I think I'm just going to try to make a sneaky landing here and capture a coastal city so I can get a beach in
Is
for
Kent
a
an alpha male?
Oh no, here they come.
There are other categories than alpha or beta or gamma or whatever male, right? There's like the scam artist is another category for that, right? And con men are other categories,
That's true.
right?
That is, yes, that's
And there's,
correct.
I'm not saying that he is, but I'm just listing other
no.
categories, right?
They ambushed me. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Ayden, that C Science guy, he could come on here, but as long as he does it cross that line.
Oh, don't.
Now that Ayden,
Okay. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Sorry, my army's about to get killed. No, they wiped my entire army. No,
sorry about
I'm
that.
gonna rebuild an entirely new army. That's not good for my budget.
Have Logo be part of your army. He could take them all on. He's Mr. Logo.
I know that Mr. Logo would have no problem.
Mr. Logo, how long have you been around the community?
Oh, what do you mean with community? There are many communities online, right?
Around the how long you knew about Steven's community?
Oh, I don't remember when, but not so long.
What about Ken?
Well, I knew about him like before he went to jail even.
Oh,
Right? But I mentioned that already here.
oh yeah, I forgot. I remember him. I heard about him in 2007. How old were you back then, Ayden? 7?
How old was I when?
2007?
Yeah, I'd be 7.
Oh, you're the same age as my nephew.
Am I?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Really, Ayden, you are that young?
Yes, I was born on October 12th, 2000.
Wow.
2000. Oh, okay.
He's a millennium baby.
That's me.
October 12, 2000. Ah.
I feel like I've just cursed him or something, given how he reacted. I'm sorry. No.
I remember in January 2000, I was studying at the department at the university.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Back being part of the
Like the
Navy?
final stages, you know.
Yeah, I always have to be constantly reminded that I'm by far the youngest person in his community.
Sorry.
It's your fault, Logan. I blame you.
Are you sure you're not 17?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Dustin showed
Gangster
that he's
Ghost.
still part of the what?
What if
You
you
there?
fell into an alternate reality
Ah,
where where
You're part of the Navy?
Ayden was actually a Christian and I was an atheist.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Logo was like Stump and Stump was German.
I was
Mr. Logo was Stump. Oh no.
Stump.
And
No, I
Stump
could
was
be
German.
nothing more. Could be nothing less than the Pope, you know, in that
You
reality.
should be nothing less than the
Nothing
Pope.
less than the Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope in the earth.
Oh, that's
Well, in this reality, it's more like poop in the earth than Pope in the
Well,
earth.
I mean,
right?
it's not very far off in terms of spelling, so artistic licensure.
Dustin, are you still part of the Village People?
Of the who people?
Village People?
No, I'm not part of the village people. All right. One night, okay? That was only one. Nobody was supposed to know. You need to quit bringing that up.
You know what? I will accept your alliance offer, person that I'll absorb into my empire in like 30 years. We'll be best friends. Leading the Crusades. Awesome. So even though I've basically done nothing except get 7,000 innocent men killed in North Africa, I got a reward for it. I got 15 prestige. Oh yeah. All right. You have completed the mission.
But you'll deny it, of course.
Yeah.
Just like you said.
Gain 50 military power. Great Crusade. Let's see. So I'm at 26% war score. Can I take anything? I cannot take anything. They would accept a peace. Maybe I could get some gold out of them, but I don't want gold out of this crusade. I want land. I want territory.
Why, Ayden?
Why? Because the map looks cooler when it's painted my color. That's why. This is a map painting game, and when the map changes color to my color, it makes the endorphins in my brain feel nice. So that's the real reason.
What's the type of chemicals you think is in Dustin's head?
I don't think that any regular person could determine that, because if you tried going into Dustin's head to find that out, it'd be like the Venera probe trying to go through the Venusian atmosphere. It just gets like crushed underneath all the pressure. So I don't think we'd be able to really find out.
Oh.
Well, we know what chemical is in Kent's, right? Amygdalin.
Yeah.
How does that turn out for him?
Turned out great. Turned out great.
Like
I mean, my brain's in tip-top shape. These TIAs don't mean anything.
Like eat the seeds as well, and the fruit of the earth,
That's
and the
right.
herbs,
Gotta
and don't
smoke
forget
some of
the
that herb.
cyanide.
We need to fall into another dimension where her whole world is covered, like taken over by millions of clones of Kent. What would you do?
I mean, at that point, I'd probably treat it like the zombie apocalypse, to be honest with you. The only thing that would be more terrifying than the zombie apocalypse would be the fact that Kent would be, like, aware on some level. I mean, like, he's not as aware as a fully cognitive person, obviously, but he'd be aware on some level, so you'd have to deal with that. You'd have to deal with... He's pretty old, so you wouldn't really have to worry about, like, 28 days later kind of zombies, but you definitely have to deal with faster than Walking Dead zombies. So you'd have to find some sort of in between.
What Kent's a zombie? There's an option.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's been one on one level or another throughout his entire career.
Maybe he should stop eating those seeds, right?
Well, I'll do whatever I want, Mr. Logo. All right.
Or taking advice from another con man.
Right. 10 prestige or 10 devotion. 10 devotion. Gained plenty of that back in the Crusade.
Dustin wants to know, ask Sturry, why do you hate Kent?
What's that?
That's what Dustin asked. Why do you hate Kent?
Why do I hate Kent?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I do hate Kent. I just find him to be a person that goes around and blatantly spreads misinformation, and I find it to be both humorous and somewhat productive in terms of informing your average person to highlight the flaws in his arguments and show that this rock solid reasoning that he claims to have when he makes his points is not nearly as rock solid as he would make it seem to be.
You
so
serious?
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking. No. You do that every time.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Wait, are you seriously sorry, Gangster Ghost?
Sorry.
Or are you seriously sorry?
I don't know. You get that as Mr. Logo. We should know. He's Mr. Logo.
Oh, man.
Right, Mr. Logo?
Yes, of course.
Ghost. Good old Gangster Ghost.
He's Logo or Logan.
I have 26,000. You have 26,000 soldiers that you can contribute to this war, Sicily. Like, easily enough to win us this war, but you just decided you're going to sit that one out. Thank you. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Appreciate that a lot.
Oh, thank you. What?
Nothing.
Okay, that's good. But, yeah, nobody asked me, Dustin. Dustin Mustin takes a rustin. But,
Alright, I'm going to go take my dog out for a walk here. My fiance just let me know, so...
okay. What if you fall in another dimension where your dog walks you?
Where my dog walks me, hey?
That is most likely happening, right?
Yeah, that's just the average experience with my dog. Honestly.
Yeah, the other dimension is where you walk the dog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly. I gotta go back real quick before I go, though, and check how clear that came through. No, that's not what I wanted. Go to YouTube Studio. I don't have anything in YouTube Studio. I haven't made any videos yet, silly.
Ayden, are you going to have a YouTube channel?
Am I gonna have a YouTube channel? I've had a lot of people like Atheist Junior tell me that I should.
Yeah, you should start streams, right? Or something.
Yeah, you know what, Gangster Ghost? Maybe you could teach me how to use Restream, and then maybe I'll start having some of my own shows on my channel.
Wow, what would you call your channel?
Ayden TV Radio, of course.
Oh.
I don't know what I would call it. See, that's the thing. It's always it's taking the first step into that. That's always the most difficult. So, anyways, I gotta go though because my dog's gonna start complaining. I'll talk with you guys later. Though.
Talk to you later. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. See you. Bye.
Bye. What you doing, Mr. Logo?
Oh, nothing. I will also go back watching like Netflix or something.
Oh, Netflix?
Right?
What do you watch on Netflix?
All various things like Obliterated. It's a nice short series. What else? Several things.
Oh. But,
yeah. What is that called? It's a series, True Blood.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that
Yeah.
movie.
That is funny.
Was it based on you? Was that show based on you?
No.
Oh.
Okay, Gangster, then see you.
Thank
Bye.
you for coming on.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye.